Welcome back, everyone. We're going to jump straight into the draft of Game 2. That's absolutely right. EPG taking on Mahoney squad here in the ESL One Mumbai Qualifiers, and I'm joined by the one and only Lacoste. Hey, look at this. It's a new draft. It's different.
Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, but already 4G. Shadow Shaman, man, that hero is goddamn sick. This is probably the best position 4 hero in the game right now, in my opinion, because it provides so much in team fights. You can always split push alone, just buy time for your team if someone needs to recover, and having free hacks plus the shackle, has XP talent, so this hero scales. Especially if you combine shut up, Gary. Especially if you combine him with Ursa, which opens up the early Roche for you, which also means that you might get that refresher or pretty quickly. Now you can talk.
You've missed the most important thing. He's got 74 bloody damage in lane. He punches like a truck.
Oh, yeah.
He hits so hard. I agree completely with everything you said, though. He is a monstrous hero right now. And with that Ursa, should be pretty good in lane with shackles into Fury swipes. Cottle and Troll, though, for Mahoney squad. Picking Troll into Ursa is always quite an interesting little matchup, because you do have Enrage to potentially get away from those whirling axes, but it's all about the timing of it.
Oh, yeah, but you have a blinding light on top of that.
True. That is very true. You do.
Might be a tough game for Ursa.
10 seconds remaining.
It might be. The ban's Magnus Tiny Bounty, so a bit of a respect ban on the bounty this time. Bat Rider getting taken out now as well, with Night Stalker, Viper, Lifestealer, Razor. Mahoney squad getting rid of a lot of these very straightforward, simple to play heroes. And leading their draft pretty aggressively with Cottle and Troll. Some good team fight and some decent Roche taking potential themselves. It's always interesting, though, to see teams switch very heavily from, one opener to another. There's no Enigma. There's no Sven this time, no Bane. So we've got a completely different game.
Yeah, I had a chat with Mitch between the games about that Sven. What happened? We're just still picking this hero. He said that they mostly played as position 5, but DNZ kind of fucked up, picked both of them, and just said, yeah, you're going to need to play Sven S3. I'm sorry. Sometimes it just works like that. People think that there's some mad IQ 200 idea behind. Sometimes it's just like, geez, I messed up. You're playing this hero.
I accidentally picked too many support heroes. You're going to have to play one of them.
Now, this is a good ban. Pugna against Ursa, against the Shadow Shaman. It could be really deadly.
And against the Wyvern as well.
Wyvern. It's good against Troll. You just use Cold Embrace. Let's say during Battle Trance, he can't die. Neither can the target who's under the heal. So and he's always sticking to that target. So pretty good pickup.
And Cottle doesn't like being hit by Troll. Cottle dies if you do get a nice Winter's Curse on them. Shadow Demon gonna perform a similar role, though. You've got that save through Winter's Curse against Ursa, against Shadow Shaman. But also we've seen this SD be very, very good in lanes with that poison early on.
Yeah, I think this Shadow Demon might need to be... I'm not saying that they're gonna do it, but Shadow Demon Keeper of the Light is extremely weak support combo. Once you get to level 6, they're also good in lanes, but throughout the mid game, you don't have a reliable stun, you don't have a disable. It's hard to fight like that. I see a lot of teams making this kind of a mistake. If you pick 2 heroes like this, then you need to have an offlaner with the low cooldown guaranteed stun.
Like a Centaur or something. Something that can have a nice setup time with the Shadow Demon Disruption as well. We'll see what they head into. 4th pick for EPG, though. They've got good push, good Roshan, like you've mentioned. Winter Wyvern there now with a bit of team fight, but also counter initiation and reset capabilities against abilities such as the Will-O-Wisp, the Battle Trance. Now, likely looking for their offlane hero to tie things together a little bit. This feasibly could be an offlane Ursa, though, couldn't it? We've seen him shift from position 1 to 3 when that Vlad's was incredibly popular.
We could, but I feel like Ursa needs items. He needs to have a good lane for himself. And this is like Mitch's signature hero for the past couple of years. This is the hero that... I don't know how he enjoys playing this hero, man. Like, this hero is extremely boring to play. At least for me. I'm talking from my personal experience. I don't know about you. It just feels so bad. Like you're doing all the same stuff all over again.
That's the thing. It feels like you're just always stuck in the motions of doing the same thing. Because there's very little like mechanical ability with Darkseer until you get to, you know, the kind of blink or force into vacuum wall, that kind of good combos with your team. It feels like Darkseer is very much that brain hero, the cone head who looks across the map, makes calls for the rest of his team. He's kind of AFK in lane, putting iron shells on stuff, but he's looking for opportunities to maybe say, TP up here, we can get a kill, or I'm going to make a rotation onto these runes and we can collapse and sandwich onto these heroes. But I agree,
I don't
he's pretty boring.
Darkseer. If you don't have any kind of combo with him, let's say bake him into Winter Wyvern, Altir, Splinter Blast, I don't think that's extremely effective. You need to have some kind of AoE stun. Not a big fan of this hero. Same goes for Grimstroke. I mean, now Grimstroke in general is a really bad hero, but before you needed to pick those single target spells to enable this hero. They banned Kunkka themselves. So they might grab hero like a Puck because they don't have any reliable stun on Mahoney squad, and the EPG loves to play it. Also, let's say if Tiny was not banned out, this would be ideal game for Tiny on EPG. This is a Keeper of the Light Shadow Demon Lina. They're extremely squishy and just die from one combo.
They sure are. I mean, let's talk about this Lina then. Forget about the Darkseer. He's old hat. He's boring. Lina has been out of the meta for quite some time, occasionally coming back here and there when you need someone with a massive amount of nuke damage behind her. She is paired up with a Shadow Demon to potentially find some nice little pickoffs here and there. But why has Lina not really been a popular hero recently? Is it just because she's too squishy?
She is really squishy. She's low armor hero. She has some good matchups lane, but it might be off lane Lina with Shadow Demon, Keeper of the Light plus Troll, and they could still have the mid hero last, or they could swap things around to get an off laner. It's really hard to predict what these teams are thinking.
But it's going to be a core Lina, right? You mentioned the core SD, but I don't know about like Lina Kotl as a support duo. Also feels a little bit wonky.
Oh yeah.
Final pick for Mahoney squad. Here we go. Round things out. Lots of single target.
Still no reliable stun for them. This is what bothers me on their side.
It really is SD, disrupt, Lina stun, and hope for the best. But that really can get messed up with Shadow Shaman, Darkseer, Wyvern, all having very irritating abilities to handle any smaller team fights.
It's so 15-20 minute mark to engage into team for this. It's gonna be Doom.
So it is a mid Lina then. Support Shadow
That's why I
Demon
was
and
surprised
Kotl.
that they banned out Kunkka. Because they could just pick Kunkka against Lina, and they had the last pick. I don't think there was any kind of threat for them
5 seconds remaining.
in terms of Mahoney squad picking Kunkka.
Choose your hero.
Oh, I wanted this in the
Shadow
last
Fiend.
game. Shadow Fiend this time around. Against the Lina. Something that we never used to see. But Shadow Fiend has changed a lot in recent times, and so has the layout of the map. Shadow Fiend does reasonably well against Lina nowadays, being able to ramp up that damage and control the wave with razors. I wonder what kind of build he's going to go, though, on Baranya.
Yeah, you have Darkseer who can build, say, Crimson, Pipe. There's a lot of magical damage. So probably Pipe is going to be his main choice. We see the way Gambit is playing Shadowfin every single time. Guardian Greaves, they group up as 5, always have either Visage or some other hero that can build into these team fighting items. Vlad's Crimson Pipe,
Medallion.
He gets Guardian Greaves, and it also opens up the Roche, and they just stick as a team. It's a good draft from EPG, I would say. They just need to protect this Shadowfin. If Shadow Demon decides to rotate Disruption into Lina Stun, it's a dead Shadowfin.
Yeah, DNZ and LeBron.
I'm not even sure if any of the heroes rotate after Disruption is used, that they can actually keep him alive. That's what bothers me at this point.
I think maybe LeBron. I don't think DNZ can on the Wyvern, but if LeBron TPs with a Hex and a Shackles, there is the potential to save the SF and like maybe turn around and kill the Shadow Demon or the Lina. Like we've been saying, they're so very squishy. Triple raises into Shackles could quite easily take them down. We'll see what we're dealing with though as we head into the laning stage here for Game 2, and it's best of 3. EPG taking on Mahoney squad for the ESL One Mumbai 2019 qualifiers. Good luck, have fun, drops LeBron. Sonic with the meow. Is he a cat? I thought Sonic was a hedgehog, not a cat.
Have you ever heard hedgehog making sounds?
They squeak.
LeBron, what are you doing, buddy?
He wanted to ward. Oh, LeBron. He's going to get tag teamed. 5 heroes from the Dire squad all surround him.
I mean, he saw Keeper of the Light. He could have just ran back.
But you don't expect 5.
I guess he was expecting, all right, I'm going to buy Boots of Speed, and I'm going to run faster than them. Dude, Keeper of the Light is faster than you without boots.
Is he actually 330 versus 332?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a real interesting ward. Is that just to spot the Darkseer farming jungle, I guess? Try and pressure him out of lane, go and hunt him down in the jungle.
Yeah, usually you plant this kind of a ward if you're playing against Enigma, so you can see him doing stuff in jungle. You have position forward who can rotate, steal the stacks. It's being pinged out, so this is gonna get devoured for sure.
Okay.
Branya is pinging the ward out.
Well, they know what's up. Down bottom, DNZ gets both of the bounties. We'll be pretty happy with the way things have gone. Sodoy and the Doom goes down bottom. DNZ Wyvern already down there with Mitch changing his lane. Darkseer will be down bot himself. Baranya SF mid against the Undershock Lina. And top, Baraban Troll. Sonic Kotl, Yol on the SD. LeBron Rasta. And Swift Ending Ursa will be the lane matchup 2v3 top, at least, to begin the game off with. A nice continuation. That is the worst thing, honestly, is when you're a mid player and a pause comes mid-block. But Baranya does well. Undershock, oh, he's a little creep. No, he's fine. He's got a good block as well. They're both doing good. Well played by both of them. LSA level 1 for Undershock. Secures a nice CS on the range creep. And a good start for this Dire team. LeBron, yet again, very deep. Got a lot of damage onto Sonic. Has another Ether Shock, but Kotl's speedy. And EPG, they swap their lanes around again. Swift Ending's heading down bottom to try and match up against Sodoy. But the Doom is walking across the map himself. Just making sure they don't waste these TPs in the rotations.
Yeah, I got disconnected for a second, so probably me. Or just Dota doing Dota stuff. They're swapping the lanes. It feels like they want to pressure this Ursa with Troll. They don't want to have Ursa against Doom because Ursa just has a free lane. You can't do anything with Doom. He's sitting on 0 armor. Ursa farms that boots way quicker than you and then just runs at you. I've seen Ursa's just buying Orb of Venom boots, sometimes even Windlace. You can outrun him. Shadow Demon popped the Disruption really offensively, which means that he's dead to 92 against 332.
Nice salve Duke, though. This is going to buy so much time. Does he survive, actually? With Disruption up again in 3. Swift Ending slowed by the axes. Yol's going to live here. DNZ, Splinter Blast is ready. Can he get it off a creep?
Oh, neutral creeps.
Oh, Yol. Oh, Yol. There we go. Nice play by DNZ. Does grab the kill. Yol made it difficult.
That's the wrong way, buddy. He should have just ran towards the tower. But sometimes it's better to die. The problem is he died and his TP is still on cooldown for 15 seconds. So he's gonna wait at the fountain until it's off cooldown.
Okie dokie. So Troll bottom. Facing off against Ursa Wyvern. What's his CS at? 5-0 against 7-3 of Swift Ending. So they do keep the 2-1-2 down here. As SF's going to grab up a haste rune. Level 2 raises. With a haste, does he come like I always wonder, like, do you go bottom and maybe get the kill? But the wave is pushed a little too close to the tier 1, so he will just return to lane. Try and dominate that matchup instead.
Yeah, you see more and more mid players when there's a haste rune, especially early on, minute 2, minute 4, 6, ganking the side lane and just steeping back to a lane, which is pretty smart. If the lane is pushed out, you grab a kill /2, and it's so good. You can see the OGs playing. Let's say they have a Monkey King who tends to rotate. He does not really care about his own lane.
What's LeBron doing? He's playing with creep waves. Ah, in comes Mitch. Iron Shell and take the neutral camp along with it. This feels like a weird laning stage to me. No one's really getting a massive advantage. Everyone's farming pretty nicely. Apart from maybe the Troll, you could say, is struggling down in this bottom lane due to all the lane swaps. But they've got the wave back kind of where they want it, near their own tier 1. And of course, the ability to pull across the large camp is always handy for the Dire team. But would you say that the Radiant are maybe getting an upper hand here early on?
Tower is under attack.
I mean, it's pretty even game so far, but they're doing a good job of just pulling the creep wave. And Darkseer, he needs X. If Shadow Shaman could rotate to a mid lane, gets a shackle, get the good rune on Lina, it's a guaranteed kill. Winter Wyvern is invis. They just need to have Arctic Burn ready, or she needs to be close to range creep, so Splinter Blast will hit. The thing is, both supports are missing, so she kind of knows something is up. Let's see.
Here it comes. She makes that one step forward, so the Splinter Blast lands. Barania needs 2 raises, but won't be able to connect any. Doesn't even attempt it.
I don't think they needed Shadow Shaman. Because he's missing from lane, it screams, we're gonna gank the mid lane. DNZ now in a bit of trouble, has 8 magic stick charges, Fairy Fire if he wants to. Lina's out of mana.
Nice escape. Shadow Poison won't touch him. 2 bounty runes down south though for the Dire team.
This is why this ward from Dire team didn't do too much. It really doesn't threaten anyone. I'm not sure what the idea is behind maybe Darkseer just farms the lane, but who's gonna do stuff? I guess Keeper of the Light rotates there and uses Illuminate to steal the stack. I don't know.
Yeah, all of these lane swaps really kind of mess them up, right? I have to shift everything from left to right, top to bottom. And Darkseer, Darkseer just stayed top and he kind of just cut waves non-stop. He never had to go back into the jungle.
Yeah, you can't just keep swapping, even if it's not good matchup for you at one point top. And we can see Darkseer hitting level 6. I like the item build on him. Already mentioned that they're gonna need pipe, as already Hood queued up. I hope he doesn't change his mind. And Shadowfin is gonna be on getting Guardian Briefs as expected.
Yeah, I'm going for that build, just like you said. Gambit like to play around with, but down bottom, we've got a 3v3. DNZ has a double damage rune sitting just behind Sonic, Yol, and Baraban. And they know where LeBron is. They've been poking and prodding a little bit. Swift Ending trying to make the bait play. In we go with the Arctic Burn and the Splinter Blast. Go towards Yol, but the Whirling Axes connecting with a good Illuminate means LeBron's about to fall. Baraban doesn't quite have enough to take him down. The poison, it's not going to finish him off. Yol doesn't click the button. Shadow Shaman survives while Yol will die.
DNZ first, the Splinter Blast did not connect. The second one secured the kill. This is why I mentioned during the draft that these 2 supports on side of Dire team is not good. Like, they're already struggling, and as time goes by, it's gonna be really hard for them to... Doom is level 6 right now, so that's extremely good for him. Has phase boots, a lot of kill potential. Mitch will either need to tank one Doom for the team or just farm jungle.
Yeah. Doom, Midas queued after the phase boots. What's his tier 1 still reasonably healthy, so he's not lost a lot of structural damage in that top lane. And we do have Sonic back in the jungle, you know, stacking massive creep camps here, clearing out the medium, but likely giving Undershock the large camp, maybe even the troll. We'll see what they get up to. But Baranya from the mid lane goes into the jungle, and this is where Shadow Fiend really starts to accelerate. Give Shadow Shaman mid, get him to level 6, or top lane, here we go, you said it. I should have been paying attention. The Doom does come out onto the Darkseer, but he's got so much HP regen, just Ring of Health headdress. Oh, he's got Soul Ring as well, I guess. He's perfectly fine.
And you can't really expect him to dive underneath the tower. There's Winter Wyvern. He doesn't even have a skill point in Cold Embrace, but it's more than enough with just one TP to slow him down with Arctic Burn, and then he can't chase. So Mitch tanked one for the team. They're pretty safe for next 2 minutes. They should play around it. Shadow Shaman getting levels on mid, as you mentioned, while Shadowfin is jungling. So far, looking good for EPG. Ursa on the bottom lane is having an easy time. No Doom, which means that they can't really kill him. Lina is level 6, level 7. Laguna Blade is up, but I'm not sure they can kill Ursa, even if they rotate.
No, they were thinking about diving top. Sadoy and Yul a little bit afraid to fall back behind the tier 1. But looking at this Lina, I know I asked you earlier on what's the issue with Lina. She's very squishy. Her tempo is a little weird. Back and forth hero, has a lot of damage output, but can lose momentum quickly. I've just realized her item build often feels difficult to follow through on. You know, Yule Scepter, if you have any kind of delay to your Yules, you feel completely useless. Or Yulesless, I guess.
Yulesless? Yeah, right,
I knew you were going to do it, Lacoste. I got there before you this time. I got you. But it's like, what do you do after Yules? Because it used to be Shadowblade and then like a BKB or Shiver's Guard, Daedalus. But it never feels perfect. There's no like optimal Lina build in my mind.
Yeah, it feels tough to itemize Lina, as you mentioned. Especially if she's playing from behind. Yule Scepter is her item in this game. It's extremely good against Ursa's Enrage, just to keep him during the duration in the air. It's extremely good against Surge, Dispellable, and they lack control. Their chase potential is really bad. Shadow Shaman is gonna be a level 5 right now. He bought the tome for himself. He's gonna grab that Etherland soon, so already using the courier, which means he's gonna hit that level 6, and they can start pressuring the towers. Siege creep just spawned. This is the timing that they want. They might need to rotate one more hero.
I didn't see where the Radiant scanned, but I feel like it was mid, because they dodged the mid gank really actually perfectly. SD and Cottle were waiting in the wings, ready on the mid lane to pounce onto the SF or the Shadow Shaman. But Undershock just has to go back jungle, so Baranya can push into the mid tier 1 with a catapult. Right. Top lane catapult going to work with Serpent Wards, and bottom lane Swift Ending. His lane's pretty open, not really threatened by anything.
Good choice by LeBron. They have this ward in front of Dire bottom tier 1 tower, so TP stop because they can't threaten that one on the bottom. Ursa jungle, good decision making so far. This opens up the Dire jungle for them, and they can start playing more aggressive. This is the problem with this kind of a lineup for Dire. Who's gonna start a fight right now? How do you engage? Even if you get the successful Doom off, like, you need to use one more ulti to secure a kill. Either Shadow Demon. I mean, you can't use ulti if you're not level 6. Yeah, that's extremely smart.
That's very true. But yeah, it feels like everything pivots off the back of this Lina Yules, which is often an issue when you do pick Lina. But Yol and Undershock into the jungle they go. Finding the Ursa with a disruption. Connect the LSA, but he got off his Enrage, so the TP's flowing through now. Undershock is in trouble. A squishy Lina does manage to get away, as the bottom tower has fallen, so no follow-through TPs will be coming for EPG.
There's no real stun, so he can always get his Enrage off. Keeper of the Light has a blink dagger now, so that budget the
So Kotl's role-playing as Enigma.
Yeah.
Blink Will-O-Wisp. Have we seen that much? The Blink Rush on Kotl? I've seen it as like a second or third item. Usually I see the 4-staff though.
I mean, I can understand why he's going for Blink this kind of a game, because they lack initiation.
Oh,
If you can
Barania.
get a good white hole off.
He's tanky, this lad. And a nice Winter's Curse from DNZ. Holds back the Troll, Lina, and SD. They pump a lot into that SF, but he's just completed mech. And he's ready to go again.
Seer has his own Hand of Midas.
Oh yeah, so he does. Sonic's gonna
I can
try.
see Keeper of the Light, that he has that blink dagger, so they can work around it.
Do they try and just 5-man group up, take some towers?
I think EPG is fine. They have 2 Midases against 1 Hand of Midas, and they just want to farm. They really don't want to fight right now. Mech is already finished. They could try to push the towers with the Mass Serpent Wars, but I don't think they're in any kind of a danger taking this in the real mid-game. It's 14 minutes right now. Once they get the Guardian Greaves, once they get that pipe on Darkseer, they will be ready to fight. And it's going to take a minute or 2 to farm it. So if you ask yourself, what did Lina accomplish so far? Like, as a hero? Like, it could have been any different hero. She has a Yule Scepter right now, so I expect them to try to go for kills. Try to get a pick off, take an objective, because their tower damage is extremely low. You can't really just siege with the troll, put him in front, and say good luck. Okay, that's a gem pickup by Keeper of the Light. 14-minute gem. This might be one of the fastest gem pickups ever. I'm not even kidding. We're gonna have to ask our buddy Ben or Nahaz about it.
Give me the stats. I've just realised, by the way, the score is 2-1. We're 15 minutes into the game. But it's not been boring. Like, everyone's been moving around the map. Everyone's been kind of looking for exploits, poking into the enemy jungle, trying to get active. As we do see a smoke from EPG doing exactly that. Mitch, oh, very close. Nice maneuver just to get out of smoke, break range, and they've got Undershock sandwiched between them. Hex in the shackles, the wall.
Oh, he missed the wall, Mitch.
A bit weird from Mitch. Level 2 vacuum is there, but he's going to get stunned up with the LSA. Meanwhile, in the back, Swift Ending's caught in the Will-O-Wisp and Undershock repositions. So Sidoi dooms up the Shadow Shaman. Laguna Blade will take him low, and down he'll go. Troll caught by the Winter's Curse, and EPG scratching their heads a little bit as to what's going on. They had a pick, they didn't make the play. Mitch has to run away. Now SF with a Requiem. Yule's up in the air. They've got the LSA from Undershot connecting forward onto the SF. They've caught and they've killed an EPG in trouble. This is not good. This is not good for the Radiant side. 2-3 now the score as DNZ will back away to his own tower. The Mahoney squad, they're playing aggressively and hunting for additional kills, but I don't know if that's really where they want to be. The Doom trapped under the tier 1. Swift Ending surged, Ion Shelled. Gonna get a bit of retribution here, but Sidoi saved by the LSA and the disruption until the Serpent Wards. The one-click kill.
It was a really sloppy execution. PG. Oh my god.
Like what?
He missed Wall of Replica on Shackle target. I mean, it happened still. He's my friend, so I'm allowed to blame him.
It's the new wall, the vector targeting.
Dire are scanning.
What are the other vector targeted spells besides
Pango,
Swashbuckle and Bone ulti?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Like, we're smart now. We use goddamn math in our spell.
Quantum physics in our abilities.
We have Black Hole as well.
Deary me.
Radiant
So Swift Ending, Midas Blink. He's slowly but surely building up a bit of momentum on his Ursa. It doesn't feel like EPG after that team fight. I want to call it a team fight loss just because there were so many mistakes. But it wasn't really a lot. Like, it was pretty even, you know, given the circumstances, the battle between the two. But I think EPG come out on top in the long run just because of, you know, their team composition, the hands of Midas, and the ability to walk into Roshan like this.
Do they know about it? Yol is gonna scout it out. There's a ward placed. This one's gonna get dewarded.
Nice deny. DNZ does have the Winter's Curse. This small choke point, not an area that the Mahoney squad really want to maneuver past. So Aegis onto Swift Ending now gives EPG a really good opportunity just to go and force these tier 2s, try and get the Dire team to capitulate. Kotl, this Gem of True Sight, you know, he's moving around trying to deward. Sure enough, you're trying to get this map control back away from the Radiant team. But it's still a little bit odd.
He's doing a good job. He's farming a lot. He has this Blink Dagger, so they can't really catch him unless they get a Blink Dagger. And there's not a single ward in the Dire jungle because of that gem pickup.
Save up to the troll. They've killed off Yol. Baranya still maneuvering forward, but in we go with the Blink and the Doom. Sudoi trying to kick things off again. Swift Ending showing off his big bad claws as he swipes into the Doom. But Troll Warlord can give it as good as he takes. Now Mitch, he has a vacuum and a wall. Will he get it this time? With a Will-O-Wisp, it doesn't look like he will. The Shackles buy a bit of space. He gets the vac, but not the wall. And LeBron in trouble. Illuminated down, Undershock with a double kill. Dragon slaves him out of the game. Sudoi, I don't think this is really where you wanted to go. Walking high ground all alone. Another Yules from Undershock, looking for the connection. Doesn't have mana for the Laguna Blade. Will have to fall back.
That was a budget vacuum wall combo. Which is basically just a vacuum.
It's like when you buy a box of cereal and it says there's a nice toy inside. You eat all of the cereal and there's nothing at the bottom. You're like, oh, come on.
Oh, come on, you probably ate that.
Yeah. Shut up! I don't eat plastic. I promise. I eat Play-Doh instead.
Man, some tomatoes, they taste like fucking plastic.
A lot of food does nowadays, dude. They used to be so juicy back in the day. Oh, good. Look at that. Look at that blink. Oh, spicy.
Oh man, they're gonna run into vision issues. Was that the last one from EPG?
Sorry, what?
Was that last observer vote from EPG?
I think so, yeah.
Was. Yep.
So this gem has paid for itself now. Sonic getting pretty big. 7,000 net worth. Blink, 4 staff on the Keeper of the Light. Is this Yapzor in disguise? Is that what's happening right now?
He played Enigma well in the first game. So, dude, so far this series looking extremely well. Item build was good. I think maybe Hand of Midas in the previous one and better, but his positioning and what he's doing, just trying to stall the game, getting rid of all the vision with this gem.
He seems like that very greedy, pivotal kind of playmaking position 4 that controls the game quite nicely. While Yol is very much the ward bitch. In towards the Dire Shrine top, they're making a play onto the Rasta, who's already thrown the Serpent Wards on the tier 2. And the rest of EPG going to retreat. Observer Ward, good vision on the SF and the Ursa though.
They've managed to get the deny on tower.
So they do. Slowly,
Still gonna see a good Winter Wyvern ulti into either Shadow Fiend combo or Vacuum Wall.
Yeah, EPG really haven't had the opportunity yet. I do have the Grieve still on his SF, but a Yule's catching the Wyvern with a good Will-O-Wisp. Ursa getting tagged up. Troll looking for the ensnares and the catch. And there's the enrage, but the Shadow Demon disrupts. No one's dealing with this Ignis Fatus though, so 2 heroes drop from EPG. And with Undershock chasing forward, they need a Hex from LeBron, where Sudoi moving forward has a Doom and the Infernal Blade to kick things off. And an LSA to hold him in place means 3 down with no exchange and an easy tier 1, tier 2 here for the Mahoney squad. Undershock's just going to blink into the tier 3. Forget towers, forget structural damage, we're going to doom you up and kill you off. 4 heroes in a row. SF is pretty much left alone to try and defend. Now DNZ comes on forward, disruption's there, perfect from Yol, buys him just enough time to survive through the troll's damage. And they flick the switch.
So well with what they have. This Yule Scepter from Lina really paying off. For catch, I love the item build. Blink Dagger into Yule Scepter for more mobility, and she blinks blindly into tier 3 tower just to grab a kill on a Darkseer. Yule Scepter set up the stun, even thanks to Doom, and now it's looking good for the Dire side. EPG felt like they're not playing to win in this one.
Yeah, you've got to say the Dire side playing on a knife's edge though. So many opportunities in this game that they could have just lost. Massive team fights or bled out very quickly. EPG haven't really, struck while the iron is hot. They haven't exploited the weaknesses that the Dire have shown, which is obviously a problem of their own. But a blind blink like that really does indicate the mental prowess of this Dire team. They know exactly what they want, and they're going to take it however they can. They're moving in with Sonic ready in 7, with the Will-O-Wisp still on cooldown. He sees DNZ coming, so a blink away. Undershock again blinking forward, but another good D-ward. Sonic still has the gem. Undershock vacuumed back into the wall this time as Piranha's BKB going to be shown off, and they kill off the Will-O-Wisp. Nicely done. Swift ending. He surged up an Iron Shell, so Yol should be a quick and easy kill here. Maybe not. Swift ending's losing a lot of his HP, and Yol is walking it off. Walking it off. One more raise, one more hit. In jumps Mitch, and there it is. Yol's down, but that's just the support Shadow Demon. As the Dire team keep everybody else alive, only losing really the tier 2 mid.
It took them a lot of time. I think
Doom denied the tower again.
That's the second one, dude. They need Basher on this Earth for sure. He's getting close to his BKB. I guess that's gonna be his next item, just so he can go on one target and try to grab a kill. Because their catch potential is not that great. Now there is. Shadow Shaman actually has a Blink Dagger.
Blinding light. Dispelled off by the Enrage. DNZ with the Winter's Curse there. Not entirely sure that was necessary, but it will lead to 2 very juicy kills. The Troll arriving, keeping Undershock alive. Gems on the floor as Yol comes in, disrupts up. The Doom forward, catching out the Darkseer now as he's silenced and muted. And unfortunately, nothing really to do. Picked off in the back end of the fight. The Ensnare catching DNZ as well as Sonic buys back. Where is the gem, Lacoste? Who has
Shadow
it?
Demon has it. I can't believe they did not manage to pick up a gem there.
How did the Lina survive as well? Like, that Winter's Curse seemed to save the Dire team.
Yeah, not the best Winter's Curse. Oof.
And plenty of bounty runes to go around for the Dire. Sure enough, Sonic had to buy back, but it still feels very good for Mahoney squad. Baranya's Shadow Fiend. BKB. Greaves into Blink. But Doom now with a BKB. Sodoy's had a pretty quiet game, but he's top of the net worth with his Midas and his Devour. And he's getting these ultis off onto the Darkseer at like the perfect times. Mitch hasn't had a game on this DS.
Yeah, he might consider getting a Lincoln Sphere or...
He's got it queued.
This game. Yeah, I don't think they need that many Blink Daggers. You have Shadow Fiend with Blink Dagger queued up. You're basically gonna have 4 Blink Daggers. Really not necessary to have that many.
I mean, if you're gonna buy 4, you buy 5, right? Everybody needs a Blink.
Yeah, that's how it works.
You can't go half-assed. Back on 2 with the wall. With a Will-O-Wisp. They do turn it around. Focused down by Swift Ending. Now Sodoy might be in a spot of bother as the Requiem. Not going to go through the BK of Baraban. He's going to pop the Battle Trance now, and the Cold Embrace keeps Swift Ending going for a little while longer, but if he gets ensnared, never mind. DNZ is there to save his life and take down the Troll, who has no buyback. But what can EPG get off the back of this now? 2-man clap in from the Ursa. Yules into the air, sent skywards now as he can't follow through. The Blinks of the Dire get them out of danger.
They're picking out high ground. I don't think that's the play. The Roche just respawned, and they should have knowledge of that. I don't think they can push that much damage on the tower. Shadowfiend has the aura talent, presence aura affects buildings. They should have ran straight into Roche pit, or just put a courier there. There's a blind spot, and you can just check the Roche if he's there.
Who was it that was doing that? Was it
Fnatic?
Yeah, it was Fnatic. Yeah, you're right. Well, there we go, into Roshan, like you mentioned. Basher also queued up by the Ursa. Who's this? Shackled and hexed. Yol dead. Shadow Demon likely will have to buy back if they want to contest this, and he will. With a BKB from Doom, they are charging forward. Shadow Fiend caught, Laguna bladed but healed by the Cold Embrace, and Sadoy, he's being swiped down by this Ursa. They've popped a load of their ultis and they've not got a kill just yet. But with a secondary used up, Undershock will catch the SF. Troll finds the finish and they've got to run. EPG can't battle this. Swiften is caught in the river. Oh, dearie me. Trapped in between 5 heroes now. He's turning to battle, but he's blinked upon and body blocked. Down goes the teddy bear. Ripped limb from limb. And Roshan belongs to the Dire team now.
EPG needs to re-engage with the Winter's Curse and just try to fall back. Instead, he puts an embrace on him. There's enough damage to kill him through. And the Shadow Shaman, he needs to use these Serpent Wards.
What's going on here? Vacuum wall onto Undershock and Yol. Lina nearly dead, but saved up by the disruption. Roshan's about to fall, though, and Troll will be grabbing this up. They've killed off at least the Lina now. As the Ursa blinks forward, has the Enrage and BKB in 8 seconds. But the Dire team hold this high ground, and EPG, with limited mana and abilities, not going to be able to breach the ramp. Holocaust, what is this game?
Yeah, the combo is not the greatest. Execution for both teams has been really sloppy. This is why I don't like Darkseer that much. What does it bring it to you? If you use Vacuum into what? I don't know. Well, what's the idea behind it? There's going to be some huge Requiem or...
Winter's Curse into Vacuum Requiem. Yol feeling the fury of Swift Ending's Ursa. Shackles required, though, to get the final touch as DNZ is traded back. And Mitch has to run. Baranya maybe with a Blink BKB and a Requiem ready to wind up and throw in. Thinks about it, considers it for a second. Force Staff is good from Sonic as he pops the cheese on Doom, I believe. LeBron finished off by the Troll in the back. The buyback from Shadow Shaman will come on out. And Ursa, dearie me, is that Aghanims now? Not even Aghanims on Alina, but enough damage to take down the Ursa, who's dead for 70 seconds. And once more...
Yeah, since they let catch, I loved item build. The Fusel Blade, S and Y, so these... slows, everything hexes, they tend to be more effective against him, and with the Fusel Blade they have enough. He can lock one target and just kill it. Also, if you burn through Ursa's mana, that hero does nothing.
Yeah, he's kind of like Slark in that regard, right?
Yeah.
You need at least, mana to get off your 2 cycles of your spells. 1 cycle, so they're such low cooldown, and it's such a nice amount of burst damage. You really do need to get multiple cycles out of your abilities. But here comes the group up. Tier 1 top has stood for too long. We must break down these walls. And we'll finally fall. As Undershock, Invis Rune, bottled up. Aghanim's Laguna Blade, finger on the trigger. In comes LeBron. Hex and Serpent. He's done with Sonic. Get out of my fucking game. Get out of my... Give me the gem. Get out of my game. LeBron is just absolutely done with that Kotl.
Yeah. Considering that he bought that gem early on, I buys gem straight away. He just queued up one.
yeah. I can see it. Smoke from EPG. Where are they going? Look. Oh.
Good smoke. Good smoke.
Did they get the troll?
This is not the target that they want to.
It's the Hex into Shackles. Do they have a long enough stun? Not with Yol behind. He's got the save. EPG, they've got to reset. Baraban will just sprint it off. And there's no way for them to continue this catch. He's even holding the high ground here, thinking with his BKB, the Aegis, the Battle Trance, that he can come into fight. And with a Doom on Mitch, they certainly can. Winter's Curse with the Cold Embrace buys time, and they have a Requiem to wind up and throw in, but the BKB of Baraban's too powerful. Battle Trance clears up DNZ. Yules into the air from the self. Lina, still falling. Piranha Swift Ending taking down the Lina and looking for Baraban, who's been left alone. 3 heroes on the dire die, and DNZ's brought back. Can they catch the Doom? Not thinking about
Shadow
it.
Shaman. Can he pick up that region? That's gonna be huge. Set all of his mana, and where's that gem?
On SF.
SF got it. All right. Once the cores pick up those Lincolns here, Shadow Doom might need to reconsider his item build. Shiva's Guard is fine. Heaven's Halberd, because they don't have too many spells that goes through any single target spells. Like you can block Aghanim Scepter, Ulti from Lina, you can block Doom.
He's had this Alpha Wolf for quite a while as well. Might see him change to one of the single target, the Troll, one of the Satyrs with the Mana Burn or the Purge, maybe even a Mud Golem. But again, like you're saying, with the BKB, there's the potential that none of that matters anyway. If they get the BKBs
I would prefer
off.
that he has Centaurs instead of Wolf.
Yeah, that's true. Like a Blink
If you're
Stomp.
not pressuring the towers, you don't have a lineup that goes that's 5 takes objective. Stun is just way better.
Baraban, Balls of Steel, TP's right in the front of their faces to clear up some Serpent
he should be
Wards.
careful. Aegis is gonna run out in 5 seconds.
Oh, you're right. He's going to hold back a little bit here. Who's that? Jumping up. LeBron's there. Nice vacuum into the wall. Requiem's going to come out, but they've got the BKBs going. Piranha, he's been Demonic Purged, so he can't be surged. Down you go, and Mitch, he is being crushed with a Laguna Blade to finish him off. Baraban gets the kill. 2 cores down on the Radiant side, and SF will buy back. But Swift Ending, he is a powerful bear. Triple kill for your Ursa Warrior. Sudoi and Baraban, last man standing. Turn around and fight with the Battle Trance now as the SF buyback. Can't be a dieback, but Swift Ending's still going. They've got more shackles and they've got more kills. Troll down, the gem falls, and EPG with a good buyback from your Shadow Fiend swing the fight once more.
I think they could have survived, at least Winter Wyvern could, if he just popped the Cold Embrace. He's using Cold Embrace really early on and is doing more than good. Who has a buyback on side of Mahoney squad?
Doom and Troll.
Besides Doom and Troll, yeah.
Doom with 20,000 net worth, top of the pops. Shiva's Guard is completed. But is that the first tier 3 of this game going down? Bottom lane, they do jump. BKB and Doom onto the SF. Remember, he just bought back. Borania is going to be dead for a good minute and a half or something. Swift Ending will be able to clear up at least 1 hero on his way out. No Infernal Blade or anything to cancel TP. Makes his way home safe and sound with the double gems on the ground. So SF dead for 100. But all of the waves are pushed out across the river quite nicely here for EPG. So they've got time.
Oh, Mitch got caught.
He can't die though. Surely
enough.
not. Laguna Blade takes, what, 70% of his HP? But he's fine. And we've got Lincoln Spheres coming out as well soon. Shadow Fiend is the majority of the way towards his, and with no buyback, I would imagine he just tries to buy out when he has enough money. Darkseer just completed his, and they are holding a nice spot.
Almost 1100 pure damage with her ulti and spell amp.
Really? Holy crap. 1054. Wow. That's pretty massive. EPG, I think they've been scouted here. Illuminate catches them as they hold the high ground and look for the backstab. Baraban pushing forward towards Mitch and DNZ. Sudoi also holding the aggressive high ground. LeBron in the back has picked off Yol. BKB of the Ursas chasing down Undershock, who is glimmered up by Sonic. So they defend their tower. They look for kills. A Hex again with a vacuum wall. In comes Mitch, but the Will-O-Wisp turn it around. The Winter's Curse to reset again. Great team fight swings back and forth between these teams. But the Ursa in the middle of it all. Is he doomed? He's been destroyed. He's dead and he's got buyback. As Mitch will try and surge away from the Will-O-Wisp. Nice Cold Embrace. Sudoi and LeBron having a battle towards the northwest. Mahoney
Shadow Shaman's out of mana.
Swift
Ursa,
ending's
can he
ready,
catch
though.
him? There is. Nice hit by LeBron, so he can't blink out.
Nicely done. And they get an exit kill on their way out. Good farm bottom as well for the SF to reset his souls. But what do they lose mid? Just a tier 3.
Forced to buy back. I think he needs MK. Blinding Light is too much in this fight. He's not landing his hits. He's level 23. Oof. Switch to MKB. Come on. You can do better than this Swift ending.
Especially when his BKB is 5 seconds duration, right?
Yeah.
Roshan, 1 minute 15. EPG not going to have the quick and easy entry into Aegis territory.
EPG needs to play around their cores right now, because Shadowfiend does not have a buyback for 4 minutes. Ursa just bought back, which means 7 minutes. They need to use these Lincoln Spheres on their cores instead of keeping them for themselves, especially Mitch.
What is the buyback status overall? Troll, 4 minutes 50. SF, 3 minutes 50. Ursa just bought back. And Wyvern, another 2 minutes or so to go. Doom and Lina really the 2 big heroes with buyback still available on the Dire team, so they'll have that defender's advantage potentially if EPG decide to push. But it looks like we're going to have a dance around Roshan for a bit.
Man, Troll is such a beast right now. Has a BKB, has a Static, but Winter Wyvern has that Spirit Vessel. So Lifesteal is not going to be that effective once BKB is down. He just needs to keep himself alive. And this is the dream. 5 Blink Daggers. As you mentioned, Winter Wyvern 200 gold short.
Do they actually? They are. Are they doing it? Of course they are.
Yeah.
So the only thing DNZ has to worry about is the Battle Trance dispels, the strong dispel. So he has to get the Spirit Vessel after BKB and after Battle Trance to make sure that Troll.
That's a good point, Gary.
Does get destroyed by it.
Is under attack.
SD has also been in some pretty good positions to get these saves off with the disruptions, but at this point, that's all he feels like. He feels like he is there to save with Disrupt and very little else. This is risky from the Dire team. They don't have vision as they're moving up here. Baranya Swift ending on the front lines. A jump in, a jump out, a shake it all about. LeBron gets the Hex and the Serpent Wards down. Baraban chasing forward. BKB wasted, but it's 5 seconds, so the cooldown isn't that long, about a minute. But it means the Dire can't really fight into this. Never mind, maybe it does matter, because Roshan is alive now. Yeah, of course.
It's gonna be tough for them to fight into Roche Pit without Serpent.
And SF being able to clear out that mid-wave means that Ursa can stay inside the Roshan pit. In comes Doom, shackled up by LeBron. Vacuum onto 2, but the wall doesn't quite connect. Winter's Curse is decent, holding Lina and SD back so they can focus on the Troll who's being dragged a long way away from his team. Can they catch up to him? I don't know. He's going to Satanic and heal himself up a decent amount. A blink away from Baranya. Buys time. Does he have raises? The Will-O-Wisp will make sure he cannot get the combos out. Now Lincoln's popped by the Demonic Purge. Turns to fight, but the Laguna Blade is there from Undershock. Baranya healed the Cold Embrace. Even more space for SF, but the damage rips through him. And in to the south. We've lost our Ursa Warrior. LeBron is glimmer capable by him a couple of seconds time, and the blink will keep him alive. But another weird and wonky fight as Baraban goes into the Roche Pit, and with the 3rd one of the game, they'll claim Refresher Shard, Aegis, and Cheese.
They should not try to fight into Roche Pit without Serpent. Ursa's Blink Dagger is being cancelled by Roche, so he can't get out and go on the target that was hexed and shackled. They're not on the same page with the decision making. Also, Mitch's walls were not the greatest. Like, it barely catches one. I'm gonna have a talk with this little fella after.
Share
the
some
good
words.
thing is he has AoE surge, so he's pushing out the waves. Iron Shell surge on a creep wave, and it's always on their side of the map, enemy side of the map.
Oh, they're going high ground though, trying to claim at least the first lane of barracks. Baraban makes short work of it, still holding on to BKB, as well as that Battle Trance. Satanic on cooldown though. They're making pretty quick work of these tier 4s, so Mitch feels obliged to go in with a vacuum. And a wall. Down to half HP he goes, and out of the game he goes. Well, Laguna Blade finishes him off. Thanks to this Soul Catcher, which is what? Soul Catcher takes 40% of his current health, and then Laguna Blade takes the other 60%. 60 plus 40 is 100.
That's EU math right there. Can't because it's correct 100% of the time.
That is really nasty, actually. I'd never considered that. I always think about the Lina SD as disrupt LSA, but the change to Soul Catcher actually makes this combo even nicer.
Doom has that refresher shard. He's 25, double Doom. Oh, I can't believe he didn't go for 130 damage. This is the most useless talent, 25 talent in game, because it really has no synergy between the hero and talent pool. Like, what is he gonna do? Push out mega creeps? I don't know.
What, since they changed the Psyblade's Paralyze, this one became the worst one.
Psyblade's barrel.
That was so bad. It doesn't exist, right? They removed it, I'm pretty sure.
I think they did.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Second lane, at least that's what the Dire are trying to claim. They blow LeBron completely out of the water. Swift Ending getting halted by a disruption and a purge, so Sonic Force Staff's away.
Get the second Doom.
They do as well. This Ursa's in trouble, netted up and rages away, but the Doom is still playing around with Mitch and Piranha on the left-hand side. Winter's Curse, not really going to accomplish a whole lot. Ursa Warrior still falling, and game 2 here looks like it's going the way of Mahoney's squad. This troll is unstoppable. Charging in, looking for kills. Piranha surged out of danger. EPG still holding on for dear life, but the tier 3 is being claimed. I don't know how they can defend this, especially with a blink and a will-o-wisp. Sonic is in there with a 5-man ulti. Troll will follow through, trying to get DNZ to capitulate and call GG. I feel like it's coming now. With a buyback available, he'll probably pop it and try and keep on fighting. Serpent Water Shackles onto the Doom. And damage from Piranha not nearly good enough. Another Laguna Blade, and look at the SF get blown up. Survives and gets back into Fountain for a few seconds longer. Another vacuum. No damage, though, from this Radiant side. Not enough, anyway, to kill any of these Dire heroes outside of Yol's SD. And Baraban pops his BKB. Has Aegis. Battle Trance in 30. Doom and Lina.
Oh, go Scepters.
Oh, it's keeping them alive a little longer. Cold Embrace, but LeBron's out of mana. No way to escape, and his dieback will surely seal the end of this game. SF Darkseer, the 2 last heroes standing. Requiem, it'll tickle them, but it by no means will scare him off. A buyback from Ursa. Oh, it comes off cooldown. Maybe now Swift Ending can come back in. Piranha saved by the AoE surge, but there's the Purge. In from Yol and down with SF. A buyback from him. Swift Ending fighting 1 versus 5. Kills off the Doom, but the buybacks flow through. Varavan chasing Mitch, but can't get the hits with the ensnare or anything. Laguna Blade. No, Swift Ending destroyed by Undershock, and GG is called. Game 2 goes the way of Mahoney's squad. And we will have a third game here in this series.
Oh, we had 9 buybacks in the end. I thought they're gonna lack control, but EPG's team fights are really chaotic, and the way they approached these fights was extremely bad. I gotta give credit to the Dire team. They played extremely well. Keeper of the Light, MVP of this game for sure. That early gem pickup didn't allow EPG to play aggressive on their side of the map. So they didn't even try to play it. They played their side of the map, and they had some good ganks going.
Yeah, they were moving nicely. They just could never kind of find that one way in. They couldn't find the front door, the back door, any door. It was just blindly walking in to these areas where the Dire team knew exactly where they were coming from. I'm just looking at the graph, and like 25 minutes in, it's very even, an advantage even for the Radiant team, and then it just dives downwards super hard as Mahoney's squad, like, you know, they get the Yules on Lina, they get the Troll into his BKB a bit later on. Sadoy, what was his net worth at the end, Lacoste? He was farmed.
Oh, I closed it.
22,000 net worth.
Oh,
Troll,
there it is.
Troll
Sorry.
did pip him to the top, but Sadoy's Doom, Refresher Orb, Shivers, BKB, Vlad's, and he was getting these Dooms onto the Darkseer and the SF at perfect times.
Yeah, if Shadow Shaman is not in those fights, if they don't have Serpent Wards, I don't think they have enough damage. Like, those wards should not be underestimated, especially with Shadowfin's aura.
Yeah, it was a difficult one. Like, they had some opportunities to break high ground, but against Shadow Demon, Lina, Kotl with Blink Force Staff just had so much maneuverability. Anyway, game 3, we'll jump into the lobby and bring you the final game of this series here in this ESL One Mumbai 2019 qualifier for Europe and CIS.